What's up for this week? A new brush, a homemade aftershave, and another duck fat soap. Hello again, Michael Friedrich here from beautiful North Carolina with a number of products to talk about for this week. First up, as you may remember from previous videos, my parents will often return from far-flung places, in this case Greece, with shaving items from those lands. In some cases they've been winners, in some cases they've been busts. And I'm sorry to say that although I was very interested in trying this Gentleman's Choice shaving soap from the Collective, as you can see it says olive oil soap, so my red flag went up right away there. I'm going to have to say that this is not this Gentleman's Choice. This is not a shaving soap at all. This is a bath soap masquerading as a shave soap. Unfortunately, very thin lather, immediately dissipated on my face, slick in the sense that there is some slipperiness to it, but this is not a shaving soap at all. So if you purchase this and are trying to use this as a shaving soap, I would recommend using this as a bath soap and moving on to something like the Kerkini soap, which is an artisan soap made in Greece. Sorry, gentlemen, not my choice. But thank you so much, Mom and Dad, for the gift. Really appreciate it. It's the thought that counts. Okay, next up, another product that I tried this week, but I don't think is for me, and that's simply based on the aggressiveness of the razor. I received some razor heads from Yaqi to try. They are these really cool kind of industrial, maybe slightly Bauhaus looking heads. I really like the design. I think the look is very cool. I like the way the notches are done there for the safety bar. But these razors, in terms of the overall head design, offer a very significant blade gap and a rather flat blade edge, which for me leads to a very aggressive and somewhat uncomfortable shave. So I did not stick with this razor head, but I would imagine that if you have a dense beard growth or you really like kind of the feel, more blade feel on your face, then these new heads from Yaqi may well be a good choice for you. I think I got them in three different. There's like a matte finish, there's a kind of a chrome finish and a stainless steel one, or a stainless steel looking one. Like I said, I really like the look of these, and I'm hoping if they can release another version of these, but in a less aggressive configuration, more blade curvature and less blade exposure, I think these would be great. This is just a very cool looking head, but this is not the feel of the shave that I'm looking for at all. Just too aggressive and too much kind of naked blade edge. All right, so what did I use this week? What did I stick with? Well, another Yaqi product, which is this synthetic brush. First of all, kind of a very cool fluorescent lime green handle, which really stands out, very nice. This is a version of the Tuxedo knot in the sense that it is the similar fibers, but a different mix of densities in the fiber, and it ends up being less springy, easier to display, and a bit softer on the face. And I think people are referring to this as the mink knot, I think. A very nice alternative to the Tuxedo knot, and I'll show you that in use in just a moment. The soap for today is going to be a sample from the Maggard 2019 meetup from Oleo Soapworks. It is the Wayoh. I hope I'm saying that right. Wayoh. This is the scent on this soap is I cannot remember the name of the brand, but I think the scent is called Spygame, Rudolph and Gans or something like that. I don't remember. I've never used it. I've never smelled it. I've never even seen it. So I'm just going by what I've read there. Spygame, and the scent on this is, man, it's really nice. It's got a kind of a sharp and actually kind of a spicy, hot scent to it. It's got a bit of leather in there. It smells a bit like tobacco. It's got a nice woodsy base in there. Really a very nice kind of, I don't know, just a nice spicy, leathery, woodsy scent. Touch of tobacco, I agree, is definitely in there. It just smells really good. And this is the tallow and duck fat soap base from Oleo Soapworks. I have that pressed into the Captain's Choice loading bowl. I'll start loading that in just a moment once I get the razor assembled. As I said, I swapped away from that Yaqi head because for me it's just too aggressive and just an uncomfortable shave. For me, that's just not my preference in head style. I switched over to the polar opposite. It's going to be the RazoRock Baby Smooth with a Gillette Platinum on its second shave. I'm shaving on a Saturday because I cannot do this video tomorrow, so this is just a bit of an early release for everybody. All right, there's the head put together. I'm gonna put the washer in as always. Relatively short thread on this, but that washer is thin enough that it's not gonna much matter. There we go, good and tight. All right, let me wet my face and we'll get the lather going. Yeah, I've used the Oleo soaps before and they are just as good as I remember. The duck fat base is a lovely, lovely base. It's a good mix of tallow and duck fat. I'm going to start with a relatively dry brush, and what you'll see when I start loading is that this soap will begin to foam up a little bit. It will not create one of those kind of sort of pasty lathers right off the bat. You'll see they'll produce some bubbles, but not to worry at all. I'm going to load the brush good and heavy. No issues with loading the brush. And as you can see, by the way, the brush is splaying a lot more easily than the Tuxedo knot. It doesn't have that same kind of spring or resistance to it. Very similar softness to the tips. This is a nice alternative. Like I've said before, the Tuxedo knot is certainly not my favorite synthetic knot. I find that it is too springy, and this is a very nice alternative to that. You can see what's happening. Building up a nice bit of lather in there. As the brush gets loaded, I'm going to add just a touch of water. Just a drop or two. There we go. That's looking pretty good. And you can see that's already starting to hold together nicely. All right, let me scoop that out. Put a bit of water on my face and get the lather going. I find this soap very easy to work with. You can almost immediately feel kind of a fundamental slickness as you apply it. And as you can see, this brush splays a lot more easily and doesn't have that same kind of springy fling that the Tuxedo knot does. I'm going to add some water to that, obviously. Do the slap test in a moment. Dude, that's looking pretty good. And as you saw, that does not take really any time at all to put together. Very, very easy to work with. Can take a fair bit of water. I'm going to paint in just a little bit more. Yeah, I can really feel the brush sort of sliding over your skin. It's a good sign. All right, let's go and start shaving. The RazoRock Baby Smooth, I've used this many times before. This is a great example of a very deeply curved blade with very good edge control. But for some people, obviously too mild, they want a bit more blade feel, then this is not the razor for you. The Gillette Platinum blades, they're so-so for me. I think for a lot of people, there is just not enough blade feel in this razor. It just feels too mild, but that is a kind of interesting perception of that somehow that the razor is not working when in fact it's working quite well. You just don't feel the edge of the blade sort of out of control on your skin. Yeah, you can just see how well that lather is holding together. Very, very slick, good protection, good long-term density, no dissipation or thinning. There we go, first pass almost done. Yeah, this is only, you know, I don't know, 30 plus hours of growth. Just over a day. There we go. Now let's take a careful look at the brush. Before I do that, I wipe my hand off so it doesn't all run down my hand. Look at how much lather is still formed on that. Really nice. So I'm just going to pull that off the base of the brush. And you can see lovely sheen to that. I've used their vegan base. That's been some time ago. And definitely remember at the time liking the tallow and duck fat one better. And this is still really, really good. Yeah, and as always, if you like your brush has been sitting for a little bit and you feel like it's just a little too dry, just dip or drip a bit of water on there and just paint it in just like you did for your first pass. All right, pass number 2. This is going to be across the grain. Yeah, I've always enjoyed this razor. It is just this is a very good fit for me. I definitely prefer the more mild razors. Well, I should say, I prefer razors that have a lot of control over the blade edge. Which in some cases comes with the mild razor, but in others just comes from good head design. And even though there is more blade exposure, edge is still under good control. Compared to some other tallow and extra fat soaps, this does have a lighter feel on the face. It doesn't feel overly heavy. It's not a positive or negative, it's just an observation. There we go. I will say that I accidentally kind of overshaved on Thursday. Just kind of enjoying it a little too much. But no real sort of damage to speak of because the razor is very comfortable and quite mild. All right, to rinse again, third and final pass. Yeah, I have to say, of the two knots between the Tuxedo and this knot, easy choice for me. It displays quite easily. Maybe it doesn't have the same dramatic black and white look, but that's still a pretty cool look, I think. There we go. Pull all that out of the brush. You can see sort of how creamy and dense that really is. Wow. Yeah, real nice. All right, rinse my hands. Third and final pass. Yeah, there are some days when the shave is just going great and you kind of wish there wasn't the end to it. Oh, third pass, it's going to come. Just keep going, fourth pass, fifth pass. Not today, though. Now, the one thing I've noticed, I don't think I've used this razor in a while, is that I know people had complained about the Fine Marvel, that they felt like the the head design or the shape of the safety bar was making the razor sort of drag or skip on their face. What's funny is that actually this week, that's sort of been my impression here, that the material of the razor doesn't feel quite so smooth, or so naturally smooth. There we go. Really nice slickness there. Good sense of protection from the soap. Actually, this may be the third shave on this blade, and I can already feel that this is going to be the end of the road. Yeah, I will not be purchasing these platinums again. There we go. All right, final rinse. Yeah, there we go. Wow, a lot of residual slickness when wet. Soap is definitely hard to rinse off. It's a nice layer, kind of slightly fatty feel to it. There we go. That's most of it gone. All right, now for post-shave. So as always, I do this test where I'll go and I'll just shave and just leave it with no aftershave, no nothing, and just see how it goes. And post-shave is pretty good, but, and here's the thing about the post-shave. Right now, because of the temperature changes here, and because of the dryness of the air, and because of the immediate change in my skin, it's going to take kind of a miracle for a soap not to be at least a little bit drying, because my skin is so dry. And this has a very nice, lightly fatty post-shave skin feel, but it is not something like in today's sort of weather environment, for me at least, given how dry my skin is. I would definitely want to use an aftershave balm. Now I haven't this week because I'm using a homemade aftershave that was provided by a person at the North Carolina Wet Shavers meetup. Brandon provided this, and it's called Brand Dooom Bay. He's a big, crazy death metal, scream metal fan, so I thought I'd give him a big shout out there. Try to give the name a bit of oomph. I'm not normally a big rum person. If it's too cinnamony or too clovey, I don't really like that. But I have to say, I have quite been enjoying this. And this is a very immediate shot of bay rum, very kind of hot, poof, dry down. I don't know if that's a technical term for it, but it's on and then whoosh, is just gone. But a really nice, kind of a light, slightly sweet, spicy bay rum. I'm going to put on just a touch more. I just want to say thank you to Brandon for passing these out. It was a very kind gesture and really, really thoughtful. And also smells great. So this is the thing about things like the post-shave. You have to understand that if you have a combination of dry skin or irritated skin, even if you're using a very heavily fatted or super fatted soap that normally has good post-shave, if your skin is already quite dry, soap can only make up for that so much because it is a soap plus fats that you are rinsing off your skin. And then depending on the aftershave that you use, it's gonna be kind of for naught because all the post-shave quality of that soap is gonna be counteracted by the aftershave. But man, that smells real good. Okay, wow. I'm really happy with that. That turned out very, very well. All right, let's cover the products super quick. Oleo Soapworks, Wayoh, Victor and Rolf, Spice Bomb, Victor and Rolf. It's Victor and something, I believe. Spice Bomb is the, I think is the scent that was duped for this. Like I said, it's a very nice, spicy, peppery. It actually smells a little bit hot with undertones of leather and tobacco and a bit of wood. It's a very, very nice scent. I've never smelled the original, but this scent is quite nice. The soap is also excellent. Really easy to use, easy to lather, very good slickness and protection. Tallow and duck fat. Very, very nice. Great combo. I've enjoyed those soaps in the past and I'm enjoying them again. Today's brush is this Yaqi very bright green, lime green, fluorescent green handle, which I think it's a 24 millimeter knot. This is the Mink knot, which is the softer, more flexible, less springy version of the Tuxedo knot. For my money, the better choice because I think the Tuxedo is too springy. This has a nice bit of backbone, nice splay, very soft tips with all the other benefits of a synthetic brush added into it. Today's razor, the return of the RazoRock Baby Smooth. Always enjoy shaving with this razor. Very, very nice option. Very well designed head, and I'm very glad to see that those in fact were brought back as a more regular option. I don't know if they're actually available all the time, but they may be more readily available some of the time. And then we have finished it off with this homemade bay rum from brand Dooom. Very nice stuff. Nice bay rum scent. Big hit on the dry down. And then the scent just kind of, I wouldn't say the scent really builds. I think it actually in fact kind of lightens up and sweetens up a little bit. Oh, smells pretty good. All right, well, I'm gonna leave it right there for today. I'm doing this on a Saturday rather than the usual Sunday because circumstances will prevent me from doing a video tomorrow. Either way, thank you again so much for watching. As always, please feel free to leave your comments and questions on this video or any previous video. Thank you again so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.